Now, the Singapore Food Agency is introducing a new farm-to-table labelling system. It recognizes hotels, restaurants and caterers that source at least 15% of their produce locally. It's a move to get more people to eat dishes made and grown right here in Singapore. Rebecca Mateo reports from the launch at Resorts World Sentosa.
Now, everybody here today, they are gathered here for the same reason, and that's to celebrate local produce. An example would be this fish burger here. Everything in this fish burger is made in Singapore, and that's the fish is locally farmed, and even down to the herbs and spices, they were freshly picked just yesterday by the chef. That chef is Danny Fong. In the backyard of Resorts World Sentosa, he picks fresh herbs from the source. They go straight into the pan and onto the plate. It's a farm-to-table concept that Chef Danny is proud of. Does it taste better when you use local produce too?
Yes, and even when the supplier they send to us is even faster than from the overseas.
The resort locally sources over 95% of their eggs and a good amount of vegetables, bean sprouts and even fish. Tapping on local produce has helped them cope with supply chain disruptions during the pandemic.
The food supply chain is highly susceptible to global disruptions, climate change, geopolitical development and price fluctuations. These concerns underscore the importance of locally sourced produce, which is more resistant to such vulnerabilities.
Under the new labelling program, companies that source at least 15% of these fresh ingredients locally will earn one of 3 labels. The more types of produce they procure from local farms, the higher the rating goes. But sourcing is one thing, getting people to buy and eat local is another. Kenny Eng at Garden Asia, a local bistro and farm, is trying to whet their appetites with gelato made from locally sourced vegetables.
Our biggest challenge we face is we have insufficient local buying local. That's our biggest challenge. All right, it's not about just price, but it's just how we innovate new ideas, reimagine how we can serve the farming community. At the same time, reimagine how we can entice locals to buy local.
But even as local farmers get innovative with their greens, demand needs to increase before they can scale up. And the government knows this.
Because as we produce more, someone will have to consume more of the produce. These being all perishable items cannot just be produced and left on the shelf for months and months on end. Someone has to be the one consuming all these products. And it must make financial sense for our farmers to produce more when they know that there's a market signal from our consumers that they want more of their produce.
Locally grown produce is seen as a way for Singapore to be both greener and more food resilient. And the plan is to use this farm-to-table labelling concept to do that by helping consumers make informed choices about what they eat and where their food comes from.